16-9, 16-9, 16-9. Astralis, they take out GODSENT on Mirage as we move into our fourth and final map of this evening. Now, in theory, gentlemen, should be a 16-9 in GODSENT's favour if we're kind of going to go the way of how this evening has been going so far. We're moving back to Cobble, but let's have a quick chat about that previous match. It looked a little bit close here and there. We did see GODSENT putting up some really good signs of life, especially towards the end. They were really making Astralis' life difficult. Mainly towards the end. And in that first half, they got 2 rounds, right? A 13-2 half is not fantastic. On the T side of Mirage, you'd be hoping to get at least 6, I would be saying. And one of the rounds they got was a pistol round ace by Twist, I believe, right? So 1 round is off the back of a guy doing all the work for you. And then from there, they weren't able to convert. Everything spiraled out of control. Astralis were looking really good. They were poking and prodding in all the right places. Dupree was doing some good work with the AWP, finding some opening frags. Glaive with a fantastic half. All the frags falling in their way. And then when we switch over, we kind of see those signs that hampered Astralis in the past, especially versus Gambit, where their T-side just looks like a bit of a mess. They establish map control, but then they get, picked off or they look very indecisive, and GODSENT were making it competitive.
No, and they were a step ahead in a lot of the situations. They were making some great reads, they definitely could see the certain signs, the certain smokes, for example, coming in, and then, get the point that there's potentially going to be a player, let's say, coming into connector or getting boosted up in the window. We saw Twist extending from connector, for example, getting a double kill into players that were boosting in the window as there was a split coming into the bomb side. So yeah, no, that's true. It seems like they get kind of tunnel vision Astralis right now on their T side. I think this is one of the weirdest maps, to play as the Ts, because once you take map control, the CTs can still come back and fight you. It's like you can't actually push them so far away. Like if you push someone back from Cat, or if you push them out of Vent Room, they can always get pop flash back and come and fight. And same as Connector. Once you get in Connector, it gets a little bit more different, a little bit more difficult. But I think this map is unless you have a clear game plan off the bat, it can get very confusing. And maybe it's something they need to grind towards. Maybe they need to work on a few different executes, because it looked like they just wanted that mid control and then either pushing smokes or waiting for timings, and it felt a little bit sloppy, but obviously a very good CT side, and the win just was inevitable, really. Let's talk a little bit more about one player in particular, Glaive. I mean, most kills, most damage, most assist, most first kills, and best rated as well. I mean, the man was just, he was feeling it. He was having a really solid game. Yeah, and that's the back of a rather underwhelming Walmart tournament, right? So, I mean, he definitely is looking to bounce back, and he's always been, I thought, a very, very decent fragger all the way through his career as an in-game leader. He's always been able to deliver in the numbers. Yeah, he's one of the players who I think, once the addition of him to the roster, it was an in-game leader who not had the balls, but he was lucky enough when he joined the team that it kind of revitalized the mentality of the squad. And now, he was always chipping away. He was always adding a decent amount of frags. It wasn't like he was ever letting the team down. Like you said, at Malmo, he didn't have a fantastic tournament. It also probably wasn't the worst thing in the world, because we tend to give the in-game leaders a little bit more leniency in that regard. But to see him coming out with a bit more fire in his belly, having a good performance here, getting those stats, padding them right now, is it's always confident signs going into New York coming up. Yeah, but I do feel still like in this match, maybe Astralis got a little complacent by the fact that it was such a massive lead in the first half.
Force buys, yeah,
they kept force buying a little bit too much. It could have saved one more and then have all the weapons, grenades, everything to play with, instead of going for the cheeky half weapon, half pistol buys. We say that, and then they won on an eco. Well, a pistol upgrade, right? Yeah, which is just. But to fundamentally play the game right. Yeah, right? Yeah. Well, that's what we like to see. Yeah, that's what we love to see. They didn't need to give away so many rounds in that regard. They could have just saved up, like Natu was saying. They could have got themselves all the utility, all the weaponry, the AWPs galore, and then done a set piece, and then you probably would have converted from that point. Even if you did it time and time again, you're going to win 1 out of 5, 1 out of 10. It's eventually going to fall in your favor, even if the other team knows it's coming. It's just the stats. And the thing happened was, I guess, with the pistols too. In CS:GO, even though we don't like to see the force buys or the ecos getting won, or it really shouldn't be that way, the pistols are in such a way that, hey, it can happen. And we had Device closing out that round on Freddie B, the new boy, and pushing it across the line eventually. Just a really quick question from my point of view then, because you were mentioning about these IGLs, these in-game leaders as such. When you're at these events and you've got your coach behind you, he's calling out stuff, he's saying, right, do this, do that. Who's the main person that the team's looking towards? Because you've got the in-game leader as such, but then you've got the coach in the back. What's the differences between the two positions? Depends on the rule sets as well. Yeah, well, so. Malmo, for example, there was a lot more lenient rule set, so you could, as a coach, you were allowed to speak in the freeze time, but usually they don't really get to have any point in time where they can talk apart from the timeout. So usually it's going to be the in-game leader. That's going to be the guy making the calls. But if you have that, I think what is cool, I really like actually that system they had in Malmo where you can have a coach talk in the freeze time. I think it adds a nice layer. Then obviously during the round, you will have to have an in-game leader that's going to make the in-round, like mid-round calling and all that kind of judgment calls when things are panning out eventually. So I'm a fan of that kind of system.
Yeah, I think with the coaching, though, just to answer your question maybe a little bit more astutely, would be the sense of the coach is probably at the moment with the rules we have generally is he's just going to be he preps, he preps, and then he gives ideas when he sees, in these timeouts, oh, this isn't working, maybe let's try this, or even if a timeout, things have been working, it's like we need to make this adjustment now. That's the input he gives, and I think it's very important to still have a strong in-game leader. You want someone who's a leader in the server, right? You definitely need that personality, and you need that one person who's going to say, this is the call that we're doing, so everybody believes in that guy. And I think the majority of the calls, once you get off of your game plan, once you've exhausted that, should be coming from the in-game leader.
At least you need to have that personality. I mean, you don't necessarily have to be the best tactical leader in the world, but as long as you believe in the cause yourself and you make that clear to your teammates as well when you're calling it, that will make everyone else commit to 110%. And whatever it may be your call is, it can still work.
All right, then moving into our second best of one for this series. I actually called it wrong at the start. I mentioned Cobble. That was our second game, of course. We're actually moving into Overpass. Now, Astralis, will they be doing the same again, gents, or can we see GODSENT maybe kind of how they ended that game previously, starting off good?
Astralis has always been a very strong Overpass team, first of all, and I feel like unless GODSENT has been putting a lot of hours into the map, it's a map that requires, first of all, a lot of mobility on the CT side. There's a lot of little variables on the T side as well. You can approach it in different manners. You take B short, you take over Fountain, progressively go on the A side, or what have you. So I feel like this could be a bit of too big of a bite, chunk of biting to do for GODSENT at this point in time.
Yeah, the T side for Astralis on this map it's fabled at this point. They have some really good executes, like you've been mentioning, and the way that they take map control, it's almost unrivaled at this point. There's maybe a few other teams in the world that can do it as well. I think the issue is we saw a bad T side on Mirage, so hopefully that doesn't lead over here because they will be starting on the T side as far as I believe, and GODSENT will be on that CT side, and we saw them warming up on the CT side, like you mentioned. That's a good thing to be bringing into this. It's just if you don't get your economy going early enough and you can't get those AWPs in the hands of Twist and Dennis to actually pester on a map like this, Astralis are just going to grab their normal map control and do their executes from there. And because they're looking a lot more disciplined and players are looking on point from that CT side, the aim is there, it can be very crushing. It's just on a map like this and starting on the T side, you don't expect them to win a half 13-2. So it's going to be a closer matchup purely because of the fact that GODSENT will be starting on the CT side, but I still have to favor Astralis.
Even before they go 14-1 T side.
Just to prove me wrong, more foot in mouth. I'm not that flexible. I probably couldn't do it.
Do you want to try?
Nah, not right now.
Is there anything we can kind of take from the previous map? I mean, what we saw at the end towards GODSENT really kind of starting to make something of it, so to speak.
For me, like the big thing is just to see like a system within GODSENT. Like that's the main goal. I really do want them to build something, and I want to see Freddy be a decisive leader in the sense that this is the way we're gonna play now. These are the kind of fundamental parts that we're gonna be excelling at. We're gonna be really good at making set pieces and understanding just the foundations of taking map control and then utilizing that to the extent where we can do a lot of different things. So that's like that's what I really want to see from them. I haven't really seen that yet from them.
I think in a matchup like this one, especially for a team like GODSENT, some of the best things you can do. Sure, I agree on the T side. That's definitely, and versus good teams, it's the best time to build a system and actually look at having your T side become very robust and fundamentally sound. But I think on the CT side, or at least in matchups like this where you are the heavy underdog, you should just be throwing not random Counter-Strike, but this is where you use your aggressive moves. You allow your Dennises, your Twists, those people to go together. They pair up. They go for some very aggressive plays because they can win rounds on their own, or at least within the confines of, hey, if we send these guys out on a mission to find some kills, it might give us that early round advantage. It might also cost catch Astralis off guard. Sorry. So I think maybe a little bit more random in a matchup like this is a better way to deal with it, because if you play fundamentally, Astralis will have your number.
Is it kind of like a shock tactic, so to speak?
Yeah, the issue really is like, well, you need that mobility. You need to be very aggressive, but then do they have the measures? Like, do they understand each other enough, having just played together? Obviously, a lot of them have played together for a longer period of time, but still, you'd assume pieces of bits here and there have been changed. So everyone knows when to compensate things, when someone's doing aggressively, and so forth and so forth. So those are the little things that I think are going to be making a difference, because Astralis is just, they're a team that is very established, and there's some maps that they excel on. So.
All right, guys, we've got to leave it there as the game is about to get underway. Pansy, YNK, enjoy.
Yeah, thank you very much, and I'm looking forward to this. I think that Astralis on this map are always fun to watch. I've been, becoming a big fan of them as of late, as ever. But GODSENT, we saw a bit of an interesting game building towards the end there. There was a little bit of a ray of light, whether it be Astralis taking the foot off the gas, or however you want to put it.
Listen, Lauren, let's not get ahead of ourselves. When you're a player and you're up 13-2, you feel like whatever happens, you're going to end up winning this game. So Astralis probably getting a little bit complacent there. Couple of weird force buys, and now they start on the T side. They can dictate the pace of the game yet again, but GODSENT aggressive towards that long area.
Yeah, but...
Oh, Dennis is down, pissed around 1. Easy.
Yep, I guess that's the win. It's like,
or maybe
cool.
Twist as well.
True, Twist was pretty good last time,
Got
you're
an
right.
ace.
Yeah, he's going to have to be on the hit list pretty fast. But it looked like Astralis were aware that could be a possibility. They're holding back in the playground pretty deep, so again, maybe aware that that aggression could come through, or maybe it's just part of the protocol check they go to.
Astralis perhaps the best team in the world on Overpass, and the reason for that is they're so good at not getting picked off early on the T side, establishing map control, and then having great late round executes to close out the round. They are unparalleled in that department, and you can see it even in the pistol round. We didn't even have to wait until the gun round to see that it works, so let's see if they do manage to close it out. Twist still in an aggressive position.
And they still have the utility up. You can see one smoke's been used from Glaive, and Kiebi's lining up his right now. And they were one of the cheekiest move I saw was them using the graffiti to cover up the lineup that they're using right now. Dupree's in another battle towards toilets. As Twist does push forward. Maybe there's new pistolero in town. It's maybe not Dennis anymore. It's going to be Twist, and this guy is turning them inside out. That's brilliant. And they're going to put the foot down. This is perfect stuff from GODSENT, finally denying Astralis that late aggression in the round, catching him off just as they set up.
Great round from Schneider as well, getting 3 kills, but Twist was the MVP of that round. Playing far up, he denied the split basically from Astralis, and that's what allowed Schneider to only focus on one angle pretty much. And another great round from Twist. So you can see why it's very difficult to go towards, very difficult to go. Why teams go more towards B in the pistol round. It's difficult to close that gap, and that's what you need to do because of the Glocks, right? Obviously, the USPs have a big advantage long range, but talking about advantages, Zipex finds one of his own, pushing through the smoke in water, getting that kill onto Dennis.
He's not exactly the player I expect to be banging those shots out either. Like, Zimnix has his, his skill set, but Yanko knows he can bang apparently, but that's a bit of a blinder.
He prefers it when it's a 1vx situation, but one-on-one, he can also make it happen. He can make duo.
Find you a guy who can do both. That's what it's all about. 3 players remaining now for GODSENT. And Schneider, Disco Doppler, and Freddy B maybe start shaking in their boots. Rifles recovered, devices are full on M4, UMP on Zipnix. It's all looking a little good here. The bomb's slowly creeping up A-long as well. It looks like that's the final destination.
True, in this situation, you want to use your numbers, and Astralis is doing just that. They're grouping up towards the A-bomb site, trying to find out where the CTs are, or CT, rather, only Freddy B. They're hiding behind Optimus, gets 1 kill, doesn't deny the plant, gets traded by Device, and this is now Astralis' round to lose. Even though they only have 1 M4 on Device, but they have the favorable after plant position, and this is where Device just needs to bait out his teammates, right? They're there to draw fire so he can get an unimpeded angle.
Well, Glaive's the first in.
Long range MP9, hate to see it.
Yeah, not ideal. Now Dupree needs to be the kind of meat shield or the kind of, I guess, distraction. He gets a tag, but it's not quite enough. Device now needs to be ready for this, and it actually works out. The SMG, the MP9, very strong.
Not exactly what you wanted to see. Doppler managed to isolate all 3 players in a 1v1, and that's what Astralis definitely couldn't have allowed to happen. And GODSENT managed to bring that back from a 3v5 situation, and Astralis are now on an actual eco. Let's see if they can keep doing economic damage at least. Zipex again pushing through that smoke.
Yeah, it looks like Zimix not going to get away with this time. They've learned the lesson pretty quickly. Again, however, you're not expecting drastic amounts, but of course Astralis putting a little bit of money into this. Just a couple of upgraded pistols, but over on the GODSENT side, only 1 SMG remaining, that being on Freddy B here. Everyone else up on the rifle. So any kills that come in for Astralis feel uncomfortable for GODSENT, but they shouldn't let them happen. They can play that range game. They can play off the back of it. 1 smoke on Glaive is all they've really got to make anything, really work out from this situation for themselves. You can see them all kind of edging towards that B side of things. We know they're pretty good at this. They're the ones that kind of coined the Astralis hit. And you can see Schneider there boosting up over by A. So good information for them. Not seeing anyone just yet. But did they catch a glimpse of one by Speedway? I think they might have seen one. I mean, Device just kind of keeping their attention there. But Glaive, in the meantime, tries to make a move, and he gets met by Force. Dennis not going to let it happen, and Dupree now trying to pick up the pace. But you can see all the fire now coming towards them. Kiebi goes in on his own. Device lands a good shot, but by now they are holding firm here, GODSENT. Not allowing any steps towards the sites. And a clean through on the board. Well, clean enough.
True, it seems like Astralis was to an extent waiting to maybe bait out a bit of extra utility from GODSENT, you know, so they have to at least rebuy those incendiaries. Now coming into the first gun round, not an ideal buy for Astralis. No AWP on Device, but they have enough, I feel like, to make this work. So let's see what GODSENT does in return. No AWP for them either. They're very aggressive towards that fountain area.
Yeah, this will be interesting to see how it works out. If they work out there's aggression there, you'll see the players through Underpass push up pretty quickly. Glaive's already fallen back off this. They must have made the call because everyone's going to crunch back over from Underpass, coming back around to try and fight by the fountain. But it is a 1-for-1 trade so far. Back and forth we go, but the play up long comes in. It's Freddy B as the headliner. 2 kills back-to-back, but Zipnix is the one to try and keep this at least within a manageable distance for Astralis. But they've lost out on so much.
And I was saying how Astralis is the best team and not getting picked off early, but this was just overwhelming aggression for GODSENT. Astralis shifted all of their focus towards the party area pretty much, and that's what allowed the player to just flank from long and get a couple of extra kills. Dennis, why are you in such a forward position? This is awkward. This has been...
They've seen both of them now.
Glaive has the advantage now. I mean, he has the whole bomb site clear. He knows where... I don't even know why he throws that smoke. He knows where both of the players are. So now it's very, very tricky for GODSENT because they have no idea where Glaive might be. And now he's making use of that smoke.
Oh, God. Oh, God. This is... That's so good from Glaive. And I'm not sure if he's baited out of the movement there, but he can just buy time. Disco Doppler sweating bullets. He's got a kit. He's on the way, but... Disco Doppler now has to try and find a way around. Bombs planted for this side too, so Glaive still has the advantage. Disco Doppler's going to choose an avenue of approach, but he's got to be quick about it. Smoke goes in, Molly goes in, and the defuse gets tapped. Glaive needs to respond. Burning Alive still gets him through the smoke. Great work from Glaive, but so many errors from GODSENT to allow that to happen.
First one from Dennis. Why is he still so aggressive when they're in a 3v2 situation? I mean... Perhaps if they knew that one player was there and they wanted to push him together and then box him out, but they managed to do so, and then still Glaive had the advantage in that round. After that push, I feel like they definitely should have backed off. They had the numbers advantage, you know, just play it safe. You can. The thing is, on the A bomb side, you can really play for info. You can just jump over that, you know, either the planned box or the truck towards bank, and you can get the info fairly early on, and it's relatively fast. They rotate from B to A, depending on the players are, so not really necessary for you to take that risk, and GODSENT gets punished for it.
Ooh, that's awkward. Device, well, he knifed Glaive. Yeah, and then I was going to say, at least we get to see Twist with the AWP. We get to see what he can do this time, because he was a bit of an MVP for me in the first map, really doing some really nice work, but bit of a nice start for him. Gets a little bit of a softened target. I don't think it made much difference with the AWP anyway, of course. It does a hell of a lot of damage there. And this is kind of your same old from Astralis. You get Dupree in Underpass, as ever, just working his way through, keeping control so they can linchpin the rotates off the back of it. But by this point, GODSENT still have 5 alive. They don't need to send players anywhere else. If they gamble the right site, even better. What a bonus. But they still have these players waiting over by Monster. This could get pretty interesting. Kiebi's going to be working up. But you can see as soon as Dennis gets contact, you'll see the turnaround. Actually, Kiebi's gone in there so quick. Freddy B can do only so much. He's overwhelmed drastically. Big hit from Astralis here. This could work out well. Dupree's got him from short. Gets found by Disco Doppler, who now looks for more. Can't find it. Zipnix replies. It's down to a 2v2. Bomb plant should be coming in. Ooh. And that's a shot and a half. Zipnix stops it before it starts. Now Schneider, the 1v2, is unlikely, but he's going for it. He's done what he can, but Device says no. Very quick stuff from Astralis.
Great entry kill from Kirby. That's what opened the whole thing up. And then Astralis doing a great job of taking multiple avenues towards the bomb site. You can see even though Dupree doesn't get the kill, he forces the CT to really shift his crosshair a lot. He bought a lot of time. That was Disco Doppler, and that allows Zipnix to get the kill, and this shot really makes the difference. feel like GODSENT in that situation should have probably played a bit more passive on the B bomb side. They had the man advantage, and they also Astralis was limited on utility. But now they have the advantage yet again, even though they're on an equal.
Is walking into this eyes wide shut, I guess you could say. There's 4 players here. He's got support now coming from Glaive, but they're losing out on so many players. What on earth is this? Dennis going to find Zipnix? Down to 3v3. This is all going a bit badly, let's put it that way. There's no armor on GODSENT, so I guess that's one saving grace, but Astralis turning tail and running over towards A. The bomb's going up on long, so again, it's going to take a little bit of time, and now this player's present already by the bin at the headshot angle, and it's called that for a reason. They're going to dance with this, though. Underhand smoke goes out. They're going to try and block off one avenue of approach, but Bank now contains 3 players. This gets a little bit hectic if any of these shots connect. Device not allowing this to happen. Spots out another. Good connection. That's Disco Doppler incredibly low. And, well, I think most of the threats have been eliminated here. Disco Doppler, if anything, you just want to get out of there with that rifle. I don't know if he's even going to be allowed to, as they might just go hunt this one out. Take it out of his hands. Don't allow him to keep it. And to check, how did he get a kill on that HP? Just caught him unawares, I can imagine. But Glaive and Dupree kind of saved that one from the brink. That got a little bit too scary for my taste.
Yeah, they got that first kill very early on, and then it was just a stack. So Astralis decides they don't want to have anything to do with it. They were willing to concede the guns that they lost just to secure the round, which is the safer play. Now they equalize the score. No AWP on Twist this time around. 1 kit on Doppler, 1 incendiary on Freddy, and they go for connector control early on.
But looking at this, you can see how Astralis are lining up on it. They have no one in that underpass area. Normally there's 1 man lurking through it, if not 2. Occasionally I think it's Glaive will join Dupree on that hit. But now when you have these many players here, if Dupree's not in underpass, it's probably going to be this B kind of default piece that they go to. I'll be curious if we see the mollies go up and the smokes go up, or it's just kind of a bit more of a quick, drier hit. And that's where it's going to be. Dennis is going to be asked a tall task out of this. Twist is fine. We need to go to the other guys. There we go. Dennis right amongst it all. He's just going to go in. Oh my word, the flash is great. How does he get away with this? Perfect flash. Completely blinds Kiebi. Zipnix by the time he comes out. Device has taken him down. But by now, GODSENT are right on the doorstep. This is good work from them. Glaive is trying to put up a great fight, but it's going to be tricky. Dupree takes his time, takes a shot, and takes down the player, though. We're down to a 1v2. Schneider, Disco, Doppler, but they've got the bomb. I don't know how much Dupree can do here. 34 HP. This might be impossible at this point.
Well, very interesting play from Astralis, not even throwing a pop flash, just the 1 Molotov. And Dupree with low HP, probably going to get finished off here by Schneider. And indeed he does. And obviously the MVP of that round was Dennis, killing those 2 players with a pop flash, running through the smoke. And that's what you need to do in those explosive plays. It gets very chaotic. You know, Astralis can't plan really for that situation.
Ooh, that's what I was actually looking for this entire game, was if Device was going to be boosted. It's something that's become a bit of a thing that they'll always do the run boost if he gets a spawn, especially with an AWP. They'll just push him a little further forward. Because people thought it was like a random thing, but they actually try it as much as they can, which is quite cool. But still, I think the main thing there was Dennis more than anything.
True, and you know, that's what the upgrade brings you. Someone who can win you the round in that chaotic situation, and also someone who can give away an early kill, it seems. Dupree, and now Zipex gets the one on Freddy.
Yeah, it's kind of awkward to watch, isn't it? From, like, you know, from hero to zero at times, it feels with Dennis. Very hit and miss. Goes from being a complete game changer to having a bit of an awkward time. But still, let's look at what we have now.
Just the small things, right? It seems like Freddy wanted to push with him, but the spacing wasn't good enough that he wasn't able to trade immediately, and he ended up dying to Zipex, who was at a different angle. You know, Doppler aggressive by himself. 2 players on the B bombs. It's going to be very difficult for Astralis to get entry, and Doppler gets a second one.
Yeah, Doppler's doing really nicely. A little bit late aggression on it. Always hard to, you know, predict that or work around a Device, though. Find 1 towards a site, but I doubt Zipnix is going to get anything out of this. Surely not. These 2 players shouldn't let him even get a shot in at this one.
Only on LAN, not online. You know, he saves it. He saves the magic for the big games and for LAN. But that was a full-on force buy from Astralis. They were in a 4v3 situation, and that's where you see, for example, what Hellraisers did versus North, right? Just cut noise, just hold and wait for them to make a play. That would have worked perfectly here. But Astralis was in the middle of rotating, trying to set up, and Doppeln found great timing to get those 2 kills and bring it back for GODSENT. And now this is where GODSENT really have the opportunity to stabilize the economy for themselves, right? To keep the pressure on Astralis, who are obviously the favorite here. So a flawless round here really allows them to buy, even if they lose a gun round. Because their money was very low coming into this round, and it's those rounds where you really need to have a flawless anti-eco.
Yeah, you just got to build up those funds. You know that Astralis can strike back at any point. So if you do build up that little bit of a buffer, at least it gives you a chance right back into
Yeah,
this.
you could see they had around 3,700 or so. You can see they still have 3K. So if they lose, it's 1,400 plus. That gives you almost 5,000. That's enough. You can have a glass cannon up. You can have an M4 with all utility. You can have kits. That's what you want. So Astralis now are the ones who need to find a way back into this game economically and score-wise.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting hit coming out. Dupree's going quick towards short. We've got Glaive really under pressure as well. He's being forced back. This aggression coming out from GODSENT has been really, really intense. They've been pushing up by Fountain quite substantially. They've had good pressure on long from either Freddy B or whomever else may join him. It's just been impressive overall. I like how all-encompassing it is. It's very hard for them to play around. It's been pretty impressive considering there's still a new lineup with a new IGL.
True, and that's something that suits them very well. Even with the previous iterations of the lineup, city-sided aggression was something they were very comfortable at and could get results from. It was when they needed to be a bit more passive to change it up when they started struggling. But Device doesn't see anyone. They just start backing off of short here on B, and is this the Astralis B execute that we're going to see? Not a lot of incendiaries, Molotovs.
Looks like a little bit of a stripped back version right now. I don't know if they can commit off the back of it. There's still 3 players here for GODSENT as well. That's the scarier thing. Freddy B's getting all the info that no one's here. He can stay at this point. Is this going to be a fake? They've not fully committed. Bit of a boost. Nice flashes. Oh, that's absolutely perfect. Glaive gets played in, and he just doesn't mess around. 2 big kills. Now, Disco Doppeln's feeling very alone. He's got no friends left, but he's still fighting the good fight. But the rest of his teammates just aren't that close by. So now Astralis will have the site. Bomb to be planted as we speak. And now it's retake time for Twist and Freddy B if they fancy it. I don't know if they can maybe get this going. I need a quick kill, that kind of catalyst in towards this retake. Flash comes in. Freddy looking for that first opportunity. What a shot comes out. Kiabi gets beheaded. And now Twist. Who's your last man alive? It's Device left in the 1v2 now. Where is that bomb as well? He tries to hold the angle, but exceptional play from GODSENT will get them back into the site.
Astralis knew what's up. I mean, they were ready for that monster push. But when too long of a time passes in an after-plan situation, you have to expect a flank coming in. That's why the CTs are waiting for it. This pop flash was great to enter the bomb site. But GODSENT just winning out the duels. Freddy B, both of those, he was aware towards the very end that that smoke wasn't perfect. That Device could be crouching in the corner, lurking on the edge of the smoke, and he deals with him perfectly. So great play from him and Twist to bring it back. Twist being aggressive early on with the op again. And
he delivered before. He's been very, very good at this. It looks like Astralis have learned, not to play to his tune, but still goes back in. That was close enough, but still continues to back away. Leaves one man slightly further forward towards toilets. And you can see Astralis trying to clear through this now, just being meticulous in the way they're trying to get any sort of map control. Everything's very hard fought for here.
And it's very interesting to see Astralis constantly going for these buys which are not optimal, right? Against another team, I would be okay with it, potentially, but against a team like GODSENT, who is very aggressive, you really need all of your utility flashes more than anything else to push back Twist, not lose personnel early, and have enough for that late round execute. This way, you're making it easier for them to hold, right? When you have a Galil, when you have a Tech-9, when you don't have all the nades to use, it makes it easier for the CTs to hold. So I would rather see them take an extra eco or a half buy, why not, and try something towards the B bomb site with just pistols and then have everything you need for the following round. But let's see, they're setting up for a full-on A execute, and GODSENT seems ready for it.
Yeah, they've got the right players in the right place. 3 of them here. Twist right at the back of the headshot box, but this could be uncomfortable for the... Oh, no, it's not uncomfortable at all. They're right at home in the action. Two players were surrounded all fronts. Zipnix finally takes down both of them. Now Schneider and Dennis pushed up by Toilets, but they bought them the advantage. Device trying to get the bomb down, and Twist is having none of it. That is a huge denial, and now Zipnix, no HP, removed from that situation. But yeah, GODSENT are all over this, really.
Now they're feeling it, you know. Now they've picked it up. Now they are playing much better, similar to what we saw early on the CT side of Mirage. Unfortunately, they were 13-2 down before they got to play that CT side, so they couldn't really bring it all the way back. And you can see Astralis realizing this is getting out of hand a little bit, taking a timeout to talk things through. But yeah, GODSENT, I mean, on their team you have the likes of Dennis, Schneider, very experienced players, played under Pronax for a very long time, so you know, they've picked up a few things, that's for sure.
Yeah, and here comes the buy from it. Well, an investment of sorts from Astralis. CZ's Molly smokes. This looks like it could be a B hit coming off the back of it if this is what they like.
This is fine. This is what I wanted to see in the previous round, because their loss bonus has, you know, maxed out pretty much. So even with this investment, they will still have around 5,000 the next round, and that's perfectly fine. And you can definitely do a lot of damage with a good execute towards B, even if you only have pistols. Especially against GODSENT, who is not going to probably have the presence of mind and play passive on B. They're going to have someone close up like we see Freddy, and he can definitely get punished by those pistols. And now you see Dennis as well, both of them close up, so this can be a disaster potentially for GODSENT. It's a disaster.
Dan! Dennis and Freddy B going to be the ones to try and deal with this. You've already got, you know, Disco Doppelin playing out of this one. Probably the smarter approach to have that kind of fallback plan. You can see even Dennis kind of falling away towards maybe Graffiti, feeling out this approach, and most of GODSENT being quite passive in this, actually. Most of them moving around, and Disco Doppelin rotating over towards A. I don't know if this is a misread or
it's fine being passive in a sense if you expect pistols, but not before you see anyone. You should have one player at least forward up. As soon as he sees anyone, just leg it back to the site. But this way, they have no idea if Astralis is setting up for A or B, and now they're sending Dennis on a fact-finding mission, it seems. Is he going to get pop flashed in, please?
Freddy.
Fall back.
Freddy's
he has
got
one
a flash.
yeah. Here it comes. Somewhere else. And now they've fallen back to... Now this is good. This is perfectly fine now.
Yeah, they've kind of readied themselves, prepared for what's coming their way, and the just spray down happens. Freddy B finding two. The reply does come out from Device eventually, but actually Zipnix finds... What? They've taken down both from B. That's a bit of an issue. Finding one was nice. The second... surprising. Zipnix now able to push up, gets himself the M4, prepares for the retake. You got Dupree down by Monster, Device up on short, and now Schneider and the boys having to eye this one up. Molotov goes in, Flash comes out, it's go time. Disco Doppelin gonna find Zipnix, that's the big heavy hitter removed. He was the man with the rifle, bear in mind. Now seeing them drop down, Dupree gets swept aside, and the last man standing was Device. Not gonna get the round, good damage, bomb plant, is that enough?
Yeah, you could see how the setup shifted just in time from GODSENT, and this was my point. This is why, you know, this was a 3v3. One good shot from Zipex perhaps with that rifle could have turned it around for Astralis, and it seems like you always have a chance when you go for this execute. So right now the AWP on Device, this is now Astralis has all they need, and these are the rounds they usually win no matter what. So let's see if that will be the case this time around. Connector control once again from GODSENT.
Yeah, Dupree going to be put to task, and yeah, Molotov goes in just to deny them on the early angle. Glaive and Kiebi aren't quite there to push up to clear through party yet, so again, it's just to deny that early aggression, and this is what we want to see. Just see how well Astralis can handle that. Can they quell that little bit of an attentive push-up from GODSENT? Can they just kind of force them back for a second, which they've done to a smaller extent. Twist and Freddy B still pretty close by. Twist being forced back by the Molotovs. The flashes, but Freddy B still... Alright, he was there. Yeah, B doesn't care, does he? See you later. And finally, Astralis have the advantage. 3 men stand against them now.
Good adjustment from GODSENT mid-round to pop flash out of Monster. They found Zipex there. He's usually by himself towards that area of the map. But 3v3, Schneider gets one more kill towards Toilets. And Astralis creep him up towards long.
He's so aware that Schneider's still here. And oh, it's the Schneider show right now. He's not letting anyone through. Cheeky little spot from Disco Doppelin. Can't follow up with the last, but Kiebi you've got to be clutching at straws on this. Dennis is still pretty far away, I guess, and Schneider is low, but, you know, these are the things that you're not meant to win. Now, Kiebi's trying to isolate the 1v1. He's trying to find one of these two players straight away, and actually, he might get... Maybe not. Maybe he doesn't have the angle. Maybe it doesn't matter. Dennis this time is on point, and it does feel like a coin flip with Dennis at the moment. It's either he's, you know, completely zoned out on it, or he's banging out shots like that, being flashed through, finding two. He can be such a game changer on occasion.
Great awareness from Dennis as well, that the player might be pushed up even through the smoke. And now you see that GODSENT has confidence. They're feeling it right now. You know, that push onto Zipex, that's what allowed them to make the rotation back towards the A bomb side. They really did a good job of clearing that out, despite Astralis getting the favorable trades towards A.
Yeah, so far I've been really impressed by GODSENT. Like, this is the team that, you know, we're certainly going to have to keep our eyes on going forward, because they're able to pull this sort of stuff off, and it's great potential for very early days of a lineup. Device now tested on all occasions, but GODSENT can back away. They've got the early advantage. No need to overextend. Even if they want to go further, they can. And there it is. Freddie B's going to find a bit of action elsewhere. Yeah, B's going to be found. And now it's just down to 3. This is really well played. Freddie B might get caught in the heels if he's not careful by Device. It's Zipnix to find one in towards Underpass, actually, and now they clear through. They get towards Party. They'll start looking towards Toilets, but GODSENT will still have the man up.
They're doing a great job with this aggression. I was saying in the pregame that Astralis is the best in the world at not really losing people to early aggression, but GODSENT finding ways to make it work, and it's because they're changing the way they're doing it all the time. It was twist with the op, then it was aggression both towards mid and long. Now it was pop flashing Dennis through the smoke, which they threw, which probably surprised Glaive a little bit as well. So different ways to find those early picks, and they really forcing Astralis to play off the back foot every single round.
Yep. It's been a bit of a clinic so far. And surprising that Astralis don't have a quick reply to it, but they don't. So credit where it's due. Freddie B, look at this timing again. It's so well done, and now they know what's happening. Dennis now lines himself up. Unexpected. The bomb goes loose. You've got 20 seconds or under now for Device to do some sort of miracle play, and he knows he can't do it. It's time to back away. Time to reconsider. And Astralis really hitting a brick wall here. I thought this was going to be one of those games where Astralis just run through opponents, and it looked like it after Mirage. That first half they brought out was second to none. The second half, you know, it got sloppy. It took its time to grind out, but they won it. But this has been a great show from GODSENT. It takes nothing away from them, even if Astralis aren't playing the best game that we've ever seen from them. GODSENT are just being aggressive and good at it.
And also Astralis, who are generally pretty good at adjusting, they haven't done much adjusting in this game. I mean, it's mostly been the default style in pure gun rounds. I think they should have probably at some point at least tried to, you know, send 4 players towards A long. If they don't get any contact, that they can just keep pushing that, expecting GODSENT to be towards Toilet, something along those lines, right? Try to get those trades, because they got picked up way too much.
What is this pace, though, coming into this? Dupree's just walked up short. You've got Device praying that someone walks into his crosshair and Underpass, and he spots 2, but he can't get the job done. Astralis trying to, you know, flick the switch, kick up the pace, but they are on the site, and they might be able to get a bomb plant out of this. We'll see if Kiebi feels comfortable enough to try and go for it. Again, there's eyes everywhere. There's players up on short. The flash was good, but the timing just slightly off. But Zipnix will still prove valuable in this situation by getting the kill on the board at least. They're now down to the 2v2. Device trying to find one of these 2 players, and look who's creeping up. Monster. It's Schneider finding Device in the worst possible time for him. Zipnix now. It's not offline. It's not on land, should I say. So I don't know if these clutches are going to happen. I think that's a no there.
Schneider just throws the smoke, I think, himself, and then walks right through it. But that was a good adjustment from Astralis. Should have probably happened a bit sooner. But again, GODSENT manages to bring back the round where they start off with an early disadvantage, and a stellar performance from them on the CT side.
Yeah, I thought it was a bit of a fluke, a bit of a one-off, if I'm honest, at the start of this game, but they have proven that they can certainly bring a very high class of CS right now. So at 12-3, it's all about that second half. Will we have the comeback like we saw in the first game, or will we see a little bit more from GODSENT? Will these guys close out? Will they show their dominance, or will it be Astralis back in the driving seat? Stay tuned, we'll find out. Well, it's 12-3. Now, if you watched the first map, you'd probably think that would have been Astralis' scoreline. No, it's not. It's GODSENT. They've come into this, and they've proven to be a very worthy adversary for Astralis. And if I'm completely honest, there was nothing cheesy about it. There was no sort of quirky plays. It was just good CS from GODSENT. Aggressive, to the point, concise. Everything you want out of them, and the aggression was brilliant. I absolutely loved watching it.
I think they were just aware of the way you need to play against Astralis, right? You need to disrupt them. You can't stand back and let them do their own thing. And even though it's very difficult to pull it off, GODSENT tried, and they did so very well.
Well, CZ first round for Glaive. You know, it's not the first time we've seen him do it. It always catches my attention because you just don't make that much money. But aggression coming out towards Fountain as well. Device has a little look, but he backs away. Touch of damage done, but it's towards Underpass, and that's why you get the CZ. The reload time is disgustingly long, but the support system is there. It's a 3v2. If Zipnix wins out on his, they'd have been in the driving seat, but no. It's down to Device now to try and get into the action and prove to have some of that value, but still no bomb to hand. They've left it here in Underpass, so they do need to work back towards that one GODSENT. They do need to pick it up, come together as a team, and decide where they want to go.
They know where both players are, though. dupreeh also fired some shots, exchanged some damage, so now GODSENT have the USP on Twist with armor, still a smoke and a flash on Freddy, so they can just group up, use that one smoke, and then go towards the A bomb side.
Yeah, Twist in these pistol rounds has been absolutely god tier, and Device is just not getting those shots to connect. You know what it feels like, and then suddenly it happens, but the reply comes through as well. It's down to the 1v1. We've got Twist, who's just on the very verge of this ace, and dupreeh slowly working his way around. Timing unsure in the back of Twist's mind. He's still trying to work it out. Is he bank? Is he headshot bin? Has he done anything? dupreeh now wondering, has he gone to B? Where the hell is this guy? And it's who sees who first. dupreeh's eyes lock towards Twist, but Twist has been banging out these shots like it's going out of fashion, and he needs one more scalp to add to the collection. Get this round on the board, and no! He just misses out on that final kill. That could have been the massive gateways closing out this game. Get the ace on the board. Get that first round. But dupreeh denies.
Are we sure that, you know, Dennis isn't playing under Twist's
You reckon
account?
they've just changed names?
Because this is the second time. I mean, this time he got 4 kills, but almost another ace. We already saw it on Mirage, and unfortunate for GODSENT in the end. Great round from Glaive. That's why you get the CZ, right? You have it for that rush towards connector, so you can get a multi-kill. He got 2 kills and an assist, so a very worthy investment. And now we see aggression from Astralis in the second round. They don't want to let GODSENT get comfortable.
This will be interesting. Schneider's got the AK.
Dropped to him by Twist.
Yeah. All right, Schneider, what have you got for us? If you're going to be given that, you better be ready. Device is playing this angle. He gets played in by Glaive as well. Glaive should be spotting this too. You can see him. I think he's just jiggle peeking at the back. That's perfect. If he gets the attention, that's great. Then Device can swing when they actually commit towards it. And there it comes. There it goes. Brilliantly done. Spray also connects quite nicely towards the second. So far they've quelled the threat. They've taken down Schneider, which was the rifle. That's the main part here. And they've recovered it too.
Interesting to see their choice to give it to Schneider and not to perhaps Dennis or Disco Dopplan. You know, nothing against Schneider, but those two players are just playing at a better level right now. He's also had some health issues with his eyes, so couldn't really play Counter-Strike perhaps as much as he wanted. But in the end, Astralis will secure this second round. It was a force from GODSENT, so Astralis will have the opportunity to get their economy rolling, build up a bank, and despite how great GODSENT's performance was in the first half on the CT side, they are going to have a rough time on the T side. You really need to be coordinated so you can fight off that early aggression, and even if there's no early aggression, you need to have set pieces in place. This is not a map where you can expect to just go for contact plays and have much success. Maybe towards that B bomb site if you go through Monster and you get that early kill on a player in barrels or the pillar. Or
The pillar?
The pillar.
Ah. I see. We call it something else.
What do you call it, Lauren?
Yeah, I couldn't say it. Cylindrical item towards B.
Pointy end.
Yep. There's many terms. Right now it's Zipnix's pole. That's what we're calling it. Quite large. And it will be
Likes
Zipnix.
to wave it around.
He does. Just so many people dancing around at any given moment. 12-6 though. GODSENT, as I said, the one thing I'm scared of is them leaving a window of opportunity, because Astralis don't need much of an invitation, right? They don't need to be told twice, hey guys, you can turn this one around. If they get a little bit, if they even sense blood in the water, they're going to go after it, and they're very good at it. Device does have the op, and is he soloing this?
The problem, what I want to see here from GODSENT is try to group up, right? Go for something cheeky. But Astralis is expecting it. They have 4 players towards that B bomb site.
They've had a big misread of some variety. I don't know what the hell's gone on here. So Device soloed out towards A. He was the one pushing towards Fountain. And then we had 2 players aggressively push down through short towards that water side of things. And it's very weird from Astralis, considering GODSENT were just sat there like, oh, there's 2 players near us. That's interesting. Not sure that's exactly what Astralis had planned there, but no matter what, they're still within. They can still clearly do well in this. It's just a bit of a weird situation now.
A bit of chaos. Seems like they wanted to go for that water push no matter what, but perhaps wasn't the best call. As you said, Device didn't have any contact yet towards mid, and now they have a man down. Glaive playing aggressive towards short. Does get the kill on Dopplan, and dupreeh just waiting in the wings.
Oh, dupreeh, patience might be your virtue. No, doesn't matter. You can wait as long as you want. Not gonna happen. Didn't happen. Device, though, gonna show him how it's done. Look at that. Works his way through. That's a shot and a half. It made it look cool until he missed the gun then on the drop. But it's fine. I still believe in this. Device, though, going forward. No kit on him. Picks one up. He's still fine. He's still in the race for this. The close angle works for Twist, though. This guy seems to be the perfect fallback plan whenever GODSENT need a little something to come through.
I understand the thought process from Astralis in that round, right? You have a couple of SMGs. You want to try and utilize them where they might have an advantage, close range. You want to do something to surprise GODSENT, but maybe the best way to approach this is give them room, like concede some map control to them and see if they will be able to execute properly, because I don't really have much confidence that they will. This way, if you are, you know, the one making the plays, they can just, if they win the duels, and they can pretty much get around by not doing anything. Zipex getting a kill with this exact spam. The amount of times I've seen him do this is insane. Spray control on point, and as I say that, Freddy B wins the duel.
What can you do about that? dupreeh now playing up on short. He's quite on his own, actually. Device has come over. He's going to be playing from the upper side of things, so that's the smoke that comes in from it, the phantom smoke from above. But it's, yeah, as I said, I'd like to see GODSENT forced into a situation when they have to play that kind of more, I guess, structured CS. But right now, if it works, you know, you're not going to change a thing you're doing. GODSENT doing very well. 13-6, of course, here. dupreeh still quite close. Freddy B and the boys start to line it up. Now, look how slowly they're creeping in through Monster. This will be Device with it all to do. 2 for 1 is so damn good. dupreeh as well denies the play up short. He does get outdone by Twist, but I think surely this might be a little bit too far for this man even. He has been exceptional so far. And oh, again! Twist, prove me wrong. Show me what you're made of. You've got 24 seconds and a 1v2. You've done something incredible. Was it a one-off, or is there more to this than we think? It's time to back away, I'm pretty sure. 15 seconds. I don't think you can get up to A on this and get a plant.
It's going to be close.
It is going to be really close. Can we watch Twist, please?
He can get it.
8, 7. Oh, okay, Twist. That was 1 second away. They are right on your damn heels, though. My word. Oh, he's done it. One more. Oh! Twist. What is that? What on earth is that? You have just gone above and beyond. I don't know what to say. You know what? He's proven me wrong, Yanko. I asked him to, and he's done all right at that. He has.
He's blown your mind, Lauren. But
can you believe it?
That second shot he had, that pre-fire
on towards
the pillar.
The pillar
was insane. That was a quick scope pre-fire. That was mad. And you know, to realize that he has just enough time. You could see how he realizes that the player is right behind him, crouches, then hits 2 no-scopes. That's one of the sickest rounds I've seen in a very long time, despite it being online and all. That was just an insane round for Twist.
Yep.
And this now puts GODSENT in a position where they can almost win this game. They're playing against Pistols, so don't screw this up, and you're there.
You make it sound so simple. Yeah.
God damn it.
Yeah, this is what you've done, Yanko. No, it's fine. They'll be all right. They're not going 1 by 1. Even if that first goal comes in, there's Dennis right there, so they shouldn't give up too much. Although Astralis are in the right place here, which is, I guess, the only thing that could maybe hinder something here. But Glaive doing well, finding Dennis. Reply comes out. GODSENT, sure, this isn't clean. It's not exactly, you know, something you want to remember, but it's doing the job, and that's all you can ask of. Device might be able to hit something on the cross here. Might make a bit of a nuisance of himself. Need to hit 2 back-to-back if he wants to make a difference. And the only thing that's done is put GODSENT right on towards match point. 2 best-of-1s, bear in mind. They are separated. They don't kind of influence each other in that way. But it is 15-6. What a great performance from GODSENT. And, you know, I'm going to say it. Twist, to me, has been outstanding. Even beyond that, like before that round, his pistol work was just perfect. It was just so damn good. Astralis' money has been in the trash can for what seems like this entire game. I never felt they really got going, and GODSENT have never taken the hands off their throats at this point. Twist again, spots out one. The leaping player of Glaive going to be found, and the bunny's neck gets snapped. And Device now will be the one up to task.
I'm still thinking about that Twist round. I still can't believe what I witnessed. Device with the 1D going to Twist, but he's isolated here. No teammates basically to support him, and GODSENT really allowing him to get away with it. He gets another one. Kirby also close range with the CZ on the flank. Dennis flanks him though. 2v2 situation now, and the remaining Astralis players don't have the good weapons. Not in a position to pick them up just yet. And GODSENT waiting for another push.
Simnix, will you be that other push, or are you just gonna bide your time? GODSENT looking. You can see Dennis there eyeing up any opportunity possibility. You can see him on the X-ray just having a look around from spawn. Schneider's the one that if he falls, that could be an issue. And now timing. It's going to work out probably a lot better than expected. Schneider just about starting to move over to that direction and then catches the glimpse. They know Zimnix, okay, he's around here, right? But they've got 30 seconds here. This is actually getting quite close to the mark. They need to start making their mind up, GODSENT, and that gets a little bit scary. They still have flashes, mollies, smokes. They have a lot to work with, but 20 seconds, it's not much time. They've got to run knife out towards the site.
Absolutely, and they will make it to the site, but Dupree from his position, he's definitely going to hear them running, and unfortunately he only has a mag 7, which is good close range, but he's running away as well. Oh, but the sound cues give it away, the smokes give it away. Planting in the smoke, not planting, and the time is out.
That's really awkward, isn't it?
Yeah, maybe waited for, I mean, obviously waited for a bit too long there, GODSENT. Should have played with a bit more balls.
Should have had Twist alive.
I guess they were all at Twist. Twist holds them all at the moment.
Yeah, you know what? Twist is still blowing my mind. It's just like, it's one of those things you just don't seem to get over. He's got a deagle now. Downgraded to that. It's like, look, you did all right, but just take a deagle, all right? Calm down. Let's see what GODSENT go to. I'm looking for what depth they have. Again, if they have it, you know, if maybe Astralis can pull this game a little bit closer. 7-15, still very viable, but you know, thus far it's been GODSENT really leading the way. Dupree's trying to make difference happen for himself, but Disco Doplin's been playing this out well, and that follow-up is absolute perfection. Taking down Zipnix is going to open up a world of opportunity for them now. 3 players against them. Wherever they go, they'll probably have an advantage now, GODSENT.
Absolutely, and it's yet again Astralis trying to make plays on the CT side, GODSENT just holding and getting advantages. I was going to say, I mean, that one round I was going to say, like, you see, Lauren, what happens when you just play passive and let GODSENT come to you, and then Twist wins the 1v4.
Well, at least you didn't say it. That's the main thing. You know what I mean? Like, it's only Chad really puts his opinion out there and then just gets it wrong. That's the main part. All right, just leave it to him. Schneider, Disco Doplin, Dennis, and Freddie B. Looking to close this out. What a great victory it would be for them. They've had close games leading up to this. They impressed me and Chad yesterday. They had a good game. It was, you know, showed some real strength. Got outdone ultimately, but at the end of the day, they did impress us. But Device and Kirby now trying to control towards A. Freddie B selling an absolute hook, line, and sinker sort of fake. Got everyone dancing to his tune, and well, the rest of GODSENT going to walk into B.
And this has to be them closing out the game. I mean, they have a lot of time before the cities even get into position, so that bomb is going to be ticking. The only kit is on Glaive. He's still just on a CZ. And we see how they have to pick up the pace because of it. Oh, cheeky boost here.
Oh.
I don't think this is the best play.
It's probably not here at this point. Schneider trying to watch the push-up, watching that upper catwalk balcony kind of area as well. And Glave's actually managed to find a way in. The molly's not spread far enough. There's a kit here. They're spraying in on this. The defuse might be coming through. What? That was very close. Disco Doppler did get the kill, but it wasn't on the guy defusing. So the game continues. The sigh, Janko.
Whoever gave that call, it was a very bad call to go for that boost. The thing is,
I'll blame Messi.
you saw the fake perfectly, right? So the CTs are going to be late. That means they can't check every single corner. And if you put 2 players there, even if you get the kill, you still give away that you have 2 players towards water. You could see that they had smokes, so 2 players are basically out of the round. It would be much better if you just had 3 of them towards the side, or maybe 1 of them below heaven, something along those lines. As we see, Kirby, who's had a shocker of a game so far, gets shot in the back by Twist.
Yeah, and to be fair, that's actually saved them a fair amount of trouble, because Kirby had the sight on 2 players. Now they know what's coming their way, but it doesn't seem to make a blind bit of difference. Dupree is pushed aside. Dennis is at the helm, and Device is the only one who can stop this before it starts. And oh my word, did they just not think that they can see them? I don't. They tried to play that in the most curious of ways, and now Zipnix has just had to watch as his team crumbled around him. Mag 7 to hand, 70 HP. And 5 players standing between him and the bomb. And I think he knows this one's all but done. And fitting enough, it is Twist to close this off. GODSENT put in a blistering performance to my mind. Individually, I think Twist has really gone above and beyond what we expected. But to take nothing away from the overall team, they did play that very well.
Absolutely, especially in the first half. They were aggressive as they needed to be. And this is the way GODSENT is going to win games, at least in the beginning. It has to be a strong CT side, and then on the T side they're winning a pistol, or winning a force buy early, something along those lines. They're not going to beat you with amazing strategy on the T side and great executes. So Astralis perhaps not adjusting fast enough, maybe playing a little bit too much into GODSENT's hands, but Twist 1v4. That's it.
That's what you got to say. That's all from us as well. It's been an actual pleasure casting with you, Janko. We have to drag you back out here soon enough. We might have to chain you back to the desk soon, though.
Yeah, it's not that bad. Okay, back to the desk.
Yeah, speaking of the desk, take it away, guys.
Hey, Chad.
Thank you very much indeed.
Hi, mate.
I'm glad that they eventually got cut off there. They were going to do their own analyst segment, I thought.
Could have let them go with it, to be honest with you.
Well, we could have gone home. If we knew that, I would have already called the cab, mate.
Not quite the 16-9 we were all kind of expecting, but very, very close indeed. However, gents, once again, GODSENT in a second best of 1 steal a map from a team. That 1v4 though, my God.
That's the highlight. Well, other than the win, that's the highlight.
Yeah, I mean, I've got to be honest, I haven't seen that kind of plays in a while. It's like Twist is what you like to call a combat helper. He's really good at those close range shots. He goes and makes his way towards the A bomb side at the end of that too, cutting it very close. And here we see these 2 pretty solid shots.
It's disgusting. Just watching it back, it's incredible.
We were saying in the green room as we saw it unfolding that we thought they'd just chase him down while he was planning, and they should get there in enough time. But obviously, just in the nick of time, he was able to get a. The aggression, I said the gimmicks that could be thrown in from the GODSENT side, but it was like a team when they did the aggression, and it wasn't just like off the start of the rounds. They were actually doing it when executes came in. They delayed with utility. There was that Dennis round towards the B side where he pop flashed through, went down towards the monster canal area, took 2 big frags. They were just very menacing in their CT side, and it was pretty nice to see.
No, that's the way you want to play against a team that likes to set it up, play execute heavy. You want to interrupt before they get anywhere near that bomb site, and that's what GODSENT was doing to perfection. Good to see them early round aggression towards the fountain, for example. And I thought, Astralis should be wise enough, they should be experienced enough as a unit to be able to adjust to that kind of play. But little do we know, GODSENT actually doing a very solid job at it.
Looking really good. And it's nice to see, and we kind of mentioned before, this team, It's obviously we're starting to see some really good signs of life. And moving forward, I mean, do you kind of see this continuing? Is this team just going to get stronger with time? And
they're definitely going to get better with time, right? But they also start to get looked at more because they're still finding their identity right now. So the more that they establish who they are, then these teams like Astralis, the teams who are like the phases, they can actually look at these guys and go, hey, this is how they like to approach the game. Your analysts, your coaches, your in-game leaders, they can sit down, work out a game plan to deal with them. Right now, it's the unknown quantity. Not taking anything away from them. To beat Astralis on one of their best maps is a huge victory. And to go to bed with a win, you know, that's a big thing for them. But I think that as we go down the line, as the season progresses and the wins start to get more and more important, or people are looking more at the finals, they're just going to be isolated and their tendencies will get exploited.
Well, there we have it then, guys. We need to end today because that is our 4 best of ones all said and done. Taking a quick look back at some of the matches that we've had on today. You saw Hellraisers taking map 1. That's going to be Overpass versus North. North answering back with a 16-9. 3 16-9s in a row. We did see on Mirage, Astralis take down GODSENT, but then, once again, GODSENT in a second best of 1 answer back 16-8. That is today's matches all said and done. Now, how does that leave the rankings? Well, there you go, you got another King of the Mountain. As we see North, they jump above FaZe Clan, so they take the first place. Remember, all this can change, though. We've still got a few more games to catch up. We'll also see Astralis moving up the table, FaZe move to second. Fnatic, who we will be seeing playing tomorrow, are third. Astralis fourth, Heroic, G2, GODSENT, Navi, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. Envy, Big, Hellraisers, Mouse Sports, Ninjas and Pajamas, and then still at the bottom, LDLC. Now remember, guys, obviously you've been watching on YouTube, but all of this VOD content, it's all saved. It's all there. It's all live. Give us a quick subscribe button. You want to catch up with it, you can watch it all back. Every single piece of content is going to be there. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. But for now, we're going to be signing off. We do have the top players of the week. Check this out. We'll see you tomorrow.
Is to try and step up. Leggy gets nothing done as the smokes rain in. tabseN, tapping away, takes 2, takes 3, takes all 4. Looking for the ace, and he's going to get it. tabseN is a monster.
A defense that's ready to receive a flood of terrorism. First one's dropped. That's Steel. Azza able to double down for 3 and 4. He is in a massive play position. Kusta could line up, and he sprays for both. Elige single-handedly swinging this back.
Oh, so smart, he crouched.
And he spawns Rick A. He takes a third. Finesse, all that's left. He goes down the ramp. There we have it.
4 sets of armor from Mouse Sports, and a very quick approach here. Nico can't believe his luck. That is walking to his crosshair. It's a beautiful round, looking for the ace here. What a monstrous performance that was from Nico.
This play could be massive. They know there's one within the site. He's going to be rubbing back with the man in heaven, but Rops, he does it. And now Body, 1v2. If he finds one of these, this round is over. He turns it into a one-on-one, but Rops lands the shot. He somehow does it, and that was insane.